This is a case of who dropped the ball. Was it the coroner's office or the police department or both? Let's find out. Hit the like bell, subscribe to the channel, and now let's get into the video. Mississippi corporal ran over Dexter Wade with a car. Some people are saying his name is Dexter and some are saying Dector. So the coroner's office buried him without informing his mother. The mom's name is Bitter Stan. So as she was looking for her son for all those months, the coroner's office was getting ready to bury the body. So Bitter Stan, the mom, did not report him missing at first because she said there's some type of bad blood between the police department down there and her family because the brother was killed by a cop and the cop went to jail for manslaughter of her brother, and the cop is currently repealing that case. So she reported him missing on March 14th. She said she and her son got into an argument. He left the house and he died the same day. He argued with his mother, struck by an off-duty police officer's car. So it's reported that the corporal reported the incident to the police, who did not suspect the corporal was intoxicated and did not test his sobriety, and Wade's death was ruled an accident. So the coroner said he called the family 3 days after to give them a report and to let them know that the body was there, but could not contact the family. Now the mother said she couldn't access cell phone records to verify the call, that the coroner indeed called her. The coroner said it was the department's jurisdiction to do proper death notification. So the coroner's office, if that's true, the coroner is saying that they tried to contact the family, but yet on the other hand, the coroner is saying it wasn't their responsibility, it was the department, meaning the police department's responsibility to contact the family. So which is it? Did they call or did they not call? Because on one hand, the coroner's office is saying they try to reach the family. The other hand, they're saying it was not their responsibility. It was the department's responsibility. Which tells me maybe, just maybe, they did not make that phone call to the mom. And the police department probably figured that the coroner's office is going to call and let the family know. So who dropped the ball, folks? Drop it in the comment section. I'd love to know. Who do y'all think dropped the ball? Give the video a like and subscribe if you haven't done so. So in the meantime, the mom has turned to social media to try to find her son. 2 weeks later, after receiving the body, the coroner contacts the police department. After being told there was no progress, the police department is telling the coroner there's no progress in identifying the family. They reached out. So the coroner asked to bury the man in Potter's Field at the Hinds County Penal Farm, and it was granted. The request was approved on April the 3rd, according to the coroner's notes reviewed by NBC News. On July the 14th, Dexter Wade was buried in Potter's Field after no one claimed the body. In August, police told Bitter Stan Wade, the mother, in person about the accident. She wondered whether her son's death at the hand of a Jackson officer was a factor why they did not inform her of the death to begin with. So many news outlets reported on this story, and this audio is from NBC News.
NBC News reporting tonight is giving us more insight on a story of death and mystery and anger over an apparent lack of good police work and accountability in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm talking about the story of Dexter Wade, who we now know was killed less than a half hour after leaving his home back in March. But his family only found that out this month. Wade was struck and killed by a Jackson police car, apparently, as he tried to cross a highway nearby. And even though police knew exactly who they hit within days of that accident, officials say, his mother, Betterson Wade, would spend the next 7 months. She would spend 7 months looking for her son. It wasn't until 172 difficult days after Betterson last saw Wade that they came together again, this time at his unmarked grave in a state-run cemetery. NBC's John Shoup is the reporter with this story. John, we're glad to have you with us today. The details here are just extraordinary, right? Because essentially what happened here is this 7-month-long mystery for this family, despite police apparently, according to official accounts, knowing for months who they hit, where he was buried, and not reaching out to the family. How did this happen?
That's one of the questions that we have, is how exactly it happened. But we know some details and a sketch of what happened. It began, as you mentioned, on March the 5th when Dexter Wade, he's 37 years old, left home and never came back. It turned out not far from home, not long after he left, he was struck and killed by an off-duty Jackson police officer. A coroner's investigator arrives at the scene, takes his body back to the examination table, finds a prescription bottle of pills that has his name on it. The coroner's investigator calls the hospital where he got the pills, gets the next of kin, who's his mother, Betterstein Wade, and forwards that information on to the Jackson Police Department's Accident Investigation Squad. Meanwhile, the mother, Betterstein, has no idea that any of this has happened. On the 14th of March, reports him missing to the missing persons unit, and for months is checking for updates and searching for him and gets no answers. Meantime, it's not clear why, but she was never told that they had him in the morgue the entire time. So ultimately, someone figured it out within the Jackson Police Department and let her know, and that's when she realized that while she was looking for him, they had assumed in the coroner's office that he was unclaimed and arranged for him to be buried in a pauper's field. And so as you showed the pictures just earlier, a minute ago, that moment came a couple of weeks ago where she finally got to see the grave marked only with a number of where her son is buried.
I know, John, that you and the team pieced this together from interviews with his family, the coroner's investigator, court records, documents provided in response to your request, a crash report, incident reports, other documents, office records. I mean, so much of this. It took a lot of putting some puzzle pieces here just to get, I think, some sense of what happened. And yet through it all, as of tonight, have you gotten any response from the police department itself?
None. As soon as just before leaving to come talk to you, I was reaching out to the city. They're preparing some sort of response, but I'm not sure that they fully comprehend of how this mistake was made. We have notes, internal notes and documents that show what they knew. It's just not clear yet about why it was shared.
What does accountability look like for this family? Just quickly, John, what does that look like?
I think for Betterstein Wade, the mother is just somebody to acknowledge that there was a mistake. She can accept if an accident was made, but just an acknowledgement and an apology.
Okay. She just wants to be heard, it sounds like. John Shippey, thank you so much. I really appreciate you bringing us this story tonight.
So, guys, we have one person who is deceased by accident. This is what the coroner said. A mother who is grieving, a family who have a lot of questions. And I guess the saga of this story will continue. I'm sure the family is going to get an attorney on this case. My condolences to the family, and may Dexter Wade rest in peace. I see two different spellings for his name, D-E-C-T-E-R and D-E-X-T-E-R. But whichever spelling is correct, may he rest in peace. Guys, drop your comments. Hit the like bell before you leave. Subscribe if you haven't done so as yet. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.